Jai Hind everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel which is Explore Yourselves, Banking and General Knowledge etc. Please subscribe to the channel and also please do like and share and leave your suggestions in the comment section. The events of 25th September 2024 are follows. Bengali date 8 Aশ্বিন 1431 as per Benimadov Ponjika. Today's Tithi is Krishna Ashtami and up to 1640 hours and after that Krishna Navami. Today's Nakshatra is Mrigashira Nakshatra and up to 0350 hours and after that Ardra Nakshatra. Today is 269th day of the year. There are then 97 days in 2024. Today is 39th Wednesday of 2024. Today is Jitya Broth. Jitya Broth is a significant fasting day in which mothers observe Nirjala fasting throughout the day and night for well-being of their children. Ditya Broth is observed on Krishna Paksha Ashtami in the month of Asim as per Hindu lunar calendar. This fasting is mainly observed in Indian states of Bihar, Jharkhand and Uttar Pradesh. Ditya fasting is also popular in Nepal. Today is World Pharmacists Day. The 25th September is the annual World Pharmacists Day. 2024 year's theme is Pharmacists Meeting Global Health Needs. Why this theme? The pharmacy profession fulfills health requirements in many ways on a daily basis. The FIP World Pharmacist Day initiative titled Pharmacists Meeting Global Health Needs serves as a platform for the profession to commemorate its contributions to enhancing health worldwide. Moreover, it presents an occasion to underscore our capacity for further enhancing global health outcomes. International Pharmaceutical Federation (FIP) invites colleagues from all sectors of the pharmacy profession to take part in the campaign, reminding decision makers and the public how the role of pharmacists in meeting health needs remains crucial for building healthier communities everywhere. Today is Antodaya Divas. Antodaya Divas will be observed on September 25 to commemorate the birth anniversary of Pandit Dindayal Upadhyaya. The primary objective of the 10th Antodaya Divas is to bring the marginalized sections of society into the mainstream by providing access to the resources such as food, shelter, and employment. Pacific Ocean sighted by Balboa. On this day, or 2 days later, in 1513, Spanish conquistador and explorer Vasco Nunez de Balboa, standing silent upon a peak in Darien, on the Isthmus of Panama, became the first European to sight the Pacific Ocean. Today is death anniversary of Dr. Rukmabai, 22nd November 1864 to 25th September 1955. Rukmabai was an Indian physician and feminist. She is best known for being one of the first practicing women doctors in colonial India, first one being Dr. Kadambini Ganguly, who started practicing in 1886. As well as being involved in landmark legal case involving her marriage as a child bride between 1884 and 1888. The case raised significant public debate across several topics, which most prominently included law versus tradition, social reform versus conservatism, and feminism in both British ruled India and England. This ultimately contributed to the Age of Consent Act in 1891. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. Thomas Hunt Morgan, 25th September 1866 to 4th December 1945. Thomas Hunt Morgan was an American evolutionary biologist, geneticist, embryologist, and science author who won the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine in 1933 for discovering elucidating the role that chromosome plays in heredity. Morgan received his PhD from Johns Hopkins University in zoology in 1890 and researched embryology during his tenure at Bryn Mawr. Following the rediscovery of Mendelian inheritance in 1900, Morgan began to study the genetic characteristics of the fruit fly Drosophila melanogaster. In his famous fly room at Columbia University's Skimmer Hall, Morgan demonstrated that genes are carried on chromosomes and are the mechanical basis of heredity. These discoveries formed the basis of the modern science of genetics. During his distinguished career, Morgan wrote 22 books and 370 scientific papers. As a result of his work, Drosophila became a major model organism in contemporary genetics. The division of biology, which he established at the California Institute of Technology, has produced 7 Nobel Prize winners. Today is death anniversary of Mr. Prafulla Chandra Sen, 10th April 1897 to 25th September 1990. Prafulla Chandra Sen was an Indian politician and freedom fighter. He was the Chief Minister of West Bengal from 1962 to 1967. Prafulla Chandra Sen was born in the village Senhati in the Khulna district of Bengal on 10th April 1897 and in a Bauddha Brahmin family. Most of his childhood was spent in Bihar, eastern India. He started his education in Bihar and passed the entrance exam to attend the R. Mitra Institute in Deoghar. He then went on to receive a Bachelor of Science degree from Scottish Church College in Calcutta. After graduating, he joined an accounting firm and aspired to move to England in order to become an article clerk. His ambitions changed upon hearing Mahatma Gandhi's speech at the Calcutta session of the Congress Party in 1920. Influenced by Gandhi's speech, Sen abandoned his plans of studying abroad and rallied to Gandhi's call for a mass non-cooperation movement against the British. In 1923, Sen shifted to the area of Arambagh in the Hooghly district, which became his laboratory for Gandhian experiments on Swadeshi and Satyagraha. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. William Cuthbert Faulkner, 25th September 1897 to 6th July 1962. William Cuthbert Faulkner was an American writer whose novels and short stories were set in the fictional Yaknapatawpha County, based on Lafayette County, Mississippi, where Faulkner spent most of his life. A Nobel laureate, Faulkner is one of the most celebrated writers of American literature and often is considered the greatest writer of Southern literature. Faulkner was born in New Albany, Mississippi, and raised in Oxford, Mississippi. During World War One, he joined the Royal Canadian Air Force but did not serve in combat. Returning to Oxford, he attended the University of Mississippi for 3 semesters before dropping out. He moved to New Orleans, where he wrote his first novel, Soldier's Pay, 1925. He went back to Oxford and wrote Saratoris, in 1927. His first work set in the fictional Yaknapatawpha County. In 1929, he published The Sound and the Fury. The following year, he wrote As I Lay Dying. Later that decade, he wrote Light in August, Absalom, Absalom, and the Wild Palms. He also worked as a screenwriter, contributing to Howard's Hawks to Have and Have Not, The Big Sleep, adapted from Raymond Chandler's novel. The former film, adapted from Ernest Hemingway's novel, is the only film with contributions by 2 Nobel laureates. Faulkner's reputation grew following publication of Malcolm Fowler's The Portable Faulkner, and he was awarded the 1949 Nobel Prize in Literature for his powerful and unique contribution to the modern American novel. He is the only Mississippi-born Nobel laureate. Two of his works, A Fable, 1954, and The Reverse, 1962, won the Pulitzer Prize for fiction. Faulkner died from a heart attack on July 6, 1962, following a fall from his horse the month before. Ralph Ellison called him the greatest artist the South has produced. Today is death anniversary of Mr. Franco Modigliani, 18 June 1918 to 25 September 2003. Franco Modigliani was an Italian-American economist and the recipient of the 1985 Nobel Memorial Prize in Economics. He was a professor at University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, Carnegie Mellon University, and MIT Sloan School of Management. Franco Modigliani was awarded the Economic Sciences Prize for his pioneering research in several fields of economic theory that had practical applications. One of these was his analysis of personal savings, termed the life cycle theory, which proved useful in predicting the future effects of various pension plans. Today is birth anniversary of Professor Satish Dhawan, 25th September 1920 to 3rd January 2002. Satish Dhawan was an Indian mathematician and aerospace engineer, widely regarded as the father of experimental fluid dynamics research in India. Born in Srinagar, Dhawan was educated in India and further in the United States. Dhawan was one of the most eminent researchers in the field of turbulence and boundary layers, leading the successful and indigenous development of the Indian space program. He succeeded M.G.K. Menon as the third chairman of the Indian Space Research Organization (ISRO) in 1972. The second launch pad of ISRO, Satish Dhawan Space Center, is named after him. He is greatly regarded as the man behind APJ Abdul Kalam. Today is death anniversary of Mr. Arnold Palmer, 10 September 1929 to 25 September 2016. Arnold Daniel Palmer was an American professional golfer who is widely regarded as one of the greatest and most charismatic players in the sports history. Dating back to 1955, he won numerous events on both the PGA Tour and the circuit now known as PGA Tour Champions. Nicknamed the King, Palmer was one of golf's most popular stars and seen as a trailblazer, the first superstar of the sports television age, which began in 1950s. Today is death anniversary of Miss Wangari Maathai, 1st April 1940 to 25th September 2011. Wangari Maathai was a Kenyan social, environmental, and political activist who founded the Green Belt movement, an environmental non-governmental organization focused on the planting of trees, environmental conservation, and women's rights. In 2004, she became the first African woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize. As a beneficiary of the Kennedy Airlift, she studied in the United States, earning a bachelor's degree from Mount Saint Scholastica and a master's degree from the University of Pittsburgh. She went on to become the first woman in East and Central Africa to become a doctor of philosophy, receiving her PhD from the University of Nairobi in Kenya. In 1984, she got the Right Livelihood Award for converting the Kenyan ecological debate into mass action for reforestation. Wangari Maathai was an elected member of the Parliament of Kenya and between January 2003 and November 2005 served as Assistant Minister for Environment and Natural Resources in the government of President Mwai Kibaki. He was an honorary councillor of the World Future Council. As an academic and the author of several books, Maathai was not only an activist but also an intellectual who has made significant contributions to thinking about ecology and development, gender, and African cultures and religions. Maathai died of complications from ovarian cancer on 25th September 2011. 1957, soldiers escort black students into Little Rock High School. On September 25, 1957, nine black students who had been forced to withdraw from Central High School in Little Rock, Arkansas because of unruly white crowds were escorted to class by members of the U.S. Army's 101st Airborne Division. 1962. The People's Democratic Republic of Algeria is officially created. The creation of the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria was formally proclaimed on September 25, 1962. The following day, after being named Premier, Mohammed Ben Bella formed a cabinet that linked the leadership of the three power bases: the army, the party, and the government. 1977. Runners ran the first Chicago Marathon. The race starts and finishes in Grand Park and travels through one of the world's most magnificent cities. The course has produced four world records, several national records, and countless personal bests. Runners enjoy the support of 1.7 million spectators as they run through 29 neighborhoods. 1992. NASA launches the Mars Observer. Mars Observer was launched by September 25, 1992 at 17:05:01 UTC by the National Aeronautics and Space Administration from Space Launch Complex 40 at the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station in Florida aboard a commercial Titan III CT-4 launch vehicle. 2008, China launches Shenzhou spacecraft with three astronauts. This was the third human-manned spaceflight mission of China's space program. 1890, Sequoia National Park is established by the United States Congress. The park, situated in the state of California, is famous for its giant sequoia trees. Today's, that is 25th September, highlight in history. 1513, Spanish explorer Vasco Nuñez de Balboa crossed the Isthmus of Panama and sighted the Pacific Ocean. 1690, public occurrence both foreign and domestic, the first newspaper to appear in the Americas is published for the first and only time. 1768, unification of Nepal. 1775, American Revolution. Ethan Allen surrenders to British forces after attempting to capture Montreal during the Battle of Longue Pointe. 1775, American Revolution. Benedict Arnold's expedition to Quebec sets off. 1789, the United States Congress passes 12 constitutional amendments, the 10 known as the Bill of Rights, the unratified Congressional Apportionment Amendment, and the Congressional Compensation Amendment. 1790, four great Anhui troops introduced Anhui Opera to Beijing in honor of the Qianlong Emperor's 80th birthday. 1804, the Teton Sioux, a subdivision of the Lakota, demand one of the boats from the Lewis and Clark expedition as a toll for allowing the expedition to move further upriver. 1868, the Imperial Russian steam frigate Alexander Nevsky is shipwrecked off Jutland while carrying Grand Duke Alexei Alexandrovich of Russia. 1890, the United States Congress establishes Sequoia National Park. 1906, Leonardo Torres Quevedo demonstrates the telecino in the Bilbao Abra, Spain, guiding an electric boat from the shore with people on board, which was controlled at a distance over 2 km, 1.2 mile, in what is considered to be the origin of modern wireless remote control operation principles. 1911, an explosion of badly degraded propellant charges on board the French battleship Liberté detonates the forward ammunition magazines and destroys the ship. 1912, Columbia University Graduate School of Journalism is founded in New York City. 1915, World War One, the Second Battle of Champagne begins. 1918, World War One, the end of the Battle of Megiddo, the climax of the British Army's Sinai and Palestinian campaign under General Edmund Allenby. 1926, the International Convention to suppress the slave trade and slavery is first signed. 1937, Second Sino-Japanese War, the Chinese Eighth Route Army gains a minor but morale-boosting victory in the Battle of Pingxin-Guan. 1944, World War II, surviving elements of the British First Airborne Division withdrew from Arnhem via Osterwijk. 1955, the Royal Jordanian Air Force is founded. 1956, the first transatlantic telephone cable officially went into service with a three-day ceremonial call between New York, Ottawa, and London. 1956, at 1, the first submarine transatlantic telephone cable system is inaugurated. 1957, Central High School in Little Rock, Arkansas is integrated by the use of United States Army troops. 1959, Solomon Bandaranaike, Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, is mortally wounded by a Buddhist monk, Kalduye Sumorama, and dies the next day. 1962, the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria is formally proclaimed. Murat Abbas is elected president of the provisional government. 1962, the North Yemen civil war begins when Abdullah al-Salal dethrones the newly crowned Imam al-Badr and celebrates Yemen a republic under his presidency. 1963, Lord Denning releases the UK government's official report on the Profumo affair. 1964, the Mozambican War of Independence against Portugal begins. 1964, the sitcom Gomar Pyle USMC starring Jim Nevers premiered on CBS. 1969, the charter establishing the Organization of Islamic Cooperation is signed. 1974, Dr. Frank Jobe performs first lunar collateral ligament replacement, ulnar collateral ligament replacement surgery, better known as Tommy John surgery, on baseball player Tommy John. 1977, about 4,200 people take part in the first running of the Chicago Marathon. 1978, PSA Flight 182, a Boeing 727, collides in mid-air with a Cessna 172 and crashes in San Diego, killing all on 35 aboard Flight 182, both occupants of the Cessna, as well as 7 people on the ground. 1981, Belize joins the United Nations. 1981, Sandra Day O'Connor was sworn in as the first female justice on the Supreme Court. 1983, 38 IRA prisoners armed with 6 handguns hijack a prison meals lorry and smash their way out of the Meje prison. 1985, 3 civilians killed by alleged supporters of the Palestinian Liberation Organization in Larnaca Yacht killings. 1987, Fijian Governor General Penaya Ganilau is overthrown in a coup defeat led by Lieutenant Colonel Sitiveni Labuka. 1992, NASA launches the Mars Observer. 11 months later, the probe fell while preparing for orbital insertion. 1994, Russian President Boris Yeltsin began a 5-day swing through the United States, hoping to encourage American investment in his country's struggling economy. 1998, Air Flight 4101, a British Aerospace 146, crashes near Melilla Airport in Melilla, Spain, killing 38 people. 2003, the 8.3 megawatt Hokkaido earthquake strikes just offshore Hokkaido, Japan. 2012, President Barack Obama, speaking to the UN General Assembly, pledged US support for Syrians trying to oust President Bashar Assad, calling him a dictator who massacres his own people. 2013, skipper Jimmy Smithhill and Oracle Team USA won the America's Cup with one of the greatest comebacks in sports history, speeding past Dean Barker and Unitas Team New Zealand in the winner-take-all race 19 on San Francisco Bay. 2016, golf legend Arnold Palmer died at age 87. 2017, former Congressman Anthony Weiner was sentenced to 21 months behind bars for illicit online contact with a 15-year-old girl. 2018, Bill Cosby is sentenced to 3 to 10 years in prison for aggravated sexual assault. 2020, the late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg lay in state at the US Capitol, making history as the first woman so honored in the United States. Thank you very much for your patience.